life, brother.
Baby.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Alice fans don't know what these are.
Gets it, Saquon Barkley, first down. Barkley, Saquon.
E-A-G-L-E-S-E.
Go Birds, baby!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode of Under the Wing. Can you believe it? It's already episode 9. We've done this 8 times.
This will be by far the most grueling episode. But grueling. I mean, look,
This is gonna be the
we
best.
had. For those of you who might be watching this outside of the time clock, I don't know how I worded it as such. Whoever's looking at this from the outside later on, this is the week that we had the Flyers points get doubled, the Eagles points get doubled by the Giants, and the Phillies points get doubled to lose Red October. So it's definitely not the best of podcasts, but we have a very special guest today, and I think that's really going to turn some things up. It's definitely going to make me a lot more excited to do this because I don't want to talk about it,
But before he gets here, you might notice something. He's in a Black Dawkins. I'm in a Black Dawkins.
We're mourning.
You know what yesterday was? Brian Dawkins' birthday. So from me and Mike at Under the Wing, we would just like to extend a very happy birthday, belated birthday, to one Mr. Brian Dawkins. We'd love to thank him for me.
Right there. No, right here.
Oh,
yeah. And you can't see the mini helmet. That's signed by him too.
But yeah, just want a big shout out to Brian Dawkins, one of the greatest players in Eagles history.
The retired number 20.
Yeah.
What a
retired
number to
20.
retire too. Wow. Weapon X, baby. Happy
Seems
birthday.
like some of the greatest players in NFL history have worn that number. And he is deserving of it being retired.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But we got an action-packed show for you, so don't want to keep you guys waiting. We're going to talk a little bit about Week 6. We're going to recap that. You notice the title of the show. It's NFC Heavyweights Preview. It's going to be the Lions and the Buccaneers. They have a head-to-head Monday night. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a good one. We're going to talk about some early season MVPs. Who do we think, as of now, is the MVP of the league? Then we're going to dive into the Birds. What is going on? And we're going to end it out with his question, my bold take. But joining us right now, the one and only, you saw him on the intro, it's the Moose. How are you doing tonight?
What's going on? Busy night, man. Just wrapped up watching the Vetted Show with Irving Fryer and Hollis Thomas. A lot of good info coming out of that. A lot of good take on it. We're up here live at Dolan's Pub in Ridley Park, home of Eagles Nation. Philly sports guys in the house. So good show tonight, like always. Those guys really know. Being former players, they can give you a lot of insight that a lot of us don't really see as fans. And they break it down pretty damn good. Excuse my French.
You're good.
Yeah.
But we're going to kick it right off. We're going to start with Week 6. We're going to recap it. I know this is a game you're going to want to talk about, Moose. The Dallas Cowboys. How fun is it to see them lose? And not only lose, they lost by 3, but it was on the game-winning field goal. Makes it so much better. How do you feel about that, Moose?
Well, of course I feel fabulous, and I called that all week. I said, watch the Bears go in there and watch Dallas lose to them. And sure enough, they found a way to lose. That's the Cowboys for you, and I love every stinking moment of it.
Yeah. It's always a great week when the Cowboys lose.
I'm sorry, did I say Bears? Wait a minute. Yeah, Bears. Wait a minute. Who did Washington lose to?
So we're gonna get to the Bears in a second because the Bears.
I'm sorry.
But
I was out of town I was up in the mountains, so I'm kind of a little rusty on I'm playing catch up last couple days.
But either way, Panthers beat the Cowboys, so it's always
Panthers. That's right, Panthers. My bad. Yeah, I knew it was some team that's a team that you think Dallas would beat, and of course they didn't.
Yeah.
So,
Panthers have kind of been the thorn in the side for Dallas for a few years now, to be quite frank with you. But yeah, we'll jump to the Bears because you bring the Bears up. Last night was a beautiful, beautiful game. Another I love these. I love it when just when the especially when it's the NFC East and they think okay, they're gonna escape with a win, and then boom, just like that. Seen it twice this weekend. Not only did the Commanders block a field goal in the fourth quarter, they fumble the game away, and then Jake Moody, former 49er, former teammate of Debo Samuel, kicks the game winner against him. And just
beautiful,
like that, the
beautiful.
Eagles are still in first place
It's a beautiful
after the
thing.
atrocious 2 weeks that we've had.
Well, it's been a bad last Thursday was the epitome of that with the Phillies and then the Eagles all happening at the same time, and the Flyers lost, but it was the opener, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, the Phillies, the way they went down, and then you're like, okay, let's turn that. Well, I had both games going on. I had Merrill Reese in my ear, and I was watching the Phillies on TV. So the Eagles were down at halftime, right when the Phillies were blowing it, and I'm thought to myself, all right, Birds, let's go. And of course, we saw that direct go down. But you got to put that behind us, and they need to go out this week in Minnesota. Let's hope they have an extra couple days off. Let's hope they clean it up. They better clean it up.
Well, here's the thing: for the Birds, especially the team we have right now, every loss will most likely result in a win. I mean, we have the talent to be the number one in the league. So losing to the Giants might be a healthy thing for us in the long run. Like, hey, we just lost to the Giants, and let's get our head in the game. It's week 6. We can't be affording rinky-dink games like this to lose. And almost every year that they fumble away a game that they should have won on paper.
Right.
I always say, I think they needed this because normally they play a little sloppy before that, and it takes a loss to slap them across the face and get them to tighten up. So
Well,
I think we're going to see a tighten up a little more. We started off 2-2 last season, and we ended up winning
2-2 last year, and they wanted everybody wanted Sirianni. Everybody wanted Nick Sirianni out of here, and of course we know how that turned out. So,
well, I hope Kevin Patullo has a similar turnaround.
well, I can give you some insight what was discussed tonight. The bottom line is it was a team effort. Everybody's to blame for that loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patullo called some good calls, but he didn't stick with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't look terrible.
He's very vanilla. He goes back to he doesn't stay consistent and keep dialing it up a notch.
Yeah.
Hurts had a horrible game. I mean, the finger gets pointed all the way around the board. That was a team loss, 110%.
Yes, sir.
They better correct it. They need to correct it. I mean, you can't keep. I mean, they lost 2 in a row. I can't even remember the last time they lost 2 in a row. But you're lucky because the Bears beat the Redskins, and Dallas lost. The only team in the division that won was the Giants. Okay, they beat us. They're still 2-4. So in order to we need to start getting some distance between these teams.
Oh yeah.
Now we still got the Redskins, whatever you want to call them, twice. We got the Giants in 2 weeks. We should and better win that game. There's no way we're going to get swept by the Giants. So yeah, you're right. It's kind of, I don't want to say good, but okay, there's a division, and it was a division game.
Yeah.
So, and it was on their turf. Fine. You got to go out and win next week.
Yeah.
Or the 2 weeks against them and win next week.
Yeah. Speaking of a team that's actually lost 2 in a row, on highlight last night's other game, the Buffalo Bills. I want to say, Josh Allen, for as hyped up as don't get me wrong, he's a good quarterback. I've said it
It's
on
well
here before.
deserved. It's well deserved.
Well deserved. But as an Eagles fan, I want to bask in the fact that he threw double the amount of interceptions last night that Jalen Hurts has all year, and the Bills are 4-2. So I wonder. I've seen this a couple times today, online. I wonder what the atmosphere in Buffalo, what their fans are feeling right now.
Good question.
2 in a row, but for us, the sky is. I mean, I know it's a lot because of The Eagles lost 2 in a row. The Phillies lost in the NLDS. The Flyers played a clunker in the first game.
I'm sorry. Can you guys? Is there too much noise in the background?
It don't sound too bad.
It's not too bad. You're good.
Yeah, a couple people showed up.
But yeah, the city's teams just seem to be in a funk right now. I don't know if that's the same for up there in Buffalo. It might just be, hey, the Bills, they're having a rough stretch. They're going to bounce back. But I'm kind of wondering how to see, I want to see what the Bills look like this week coming up. I want to see if they can bounce back. And I want to know kind of how Bills fans are feeling because you got blown out. They really didn't have a shot last night. Bijan Robinson went absolutely
He demolished them.
Yeah, he ran for I wrote it down. He ran for 170 yards. He had an 81-yard rushing touchdown. That is crazy. In under 20 attempts. So that's
Yeah, you know what's okay.
And I wanted to say Drake London too. He had the one almost touchdown, and then he had another touchdown and 158 receiving yards. So they absolutely had their way with the Bills defense.
I'm fairly certain that was Bijan's most rushing yards in game person.
I believe it was. Yeah, I believe that was his probably best game since he got drafted.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and what I was going to say, it's funny because the Bills head coach McDermott is a what? What's his specialty? Defense.
Yeah.
So maybe their defense isn't as good as everybody thinks it is.
As past years, maybe.
And I think Michael Penix looked pretty good. So, I mean, we discussed seeing which quarterback is really going to prove himself, J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix. Michael Penix looks great, and it's so sad that we still don't know what J.J. McCarthy has in him. But, Wentz ain't doing terrible.
Sad when the Eagles are.
Well, Wentz, from what I heard tonight, is Wentz isn't playing probably. Most likely not playing on Sunday against the Eagles.
Oh.
So
do you think he's back in?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I heard tonight from, of course, reliable source.
I thought McCarthy was on IR.
Okay.
So that was just.
Well, apparently Wentz has some kind of injury. Hey,
Is this a premature start on J.J. McCarthy?
It might. Well, it depends. Maybe they'll start him. Maybe they'll start somebody else.
Yeah.
The only other thing I had for this week, at least, let me get your reaction, Moose. What did you think about Brian Branch after the game was over? Punching Juju Smith. What kind of sportsmanship is that?
Well, as I said earlier today on a show, to me that's a punk move. Let me try to say this nicely. I said he should be kicked out of the NFL. This isn't his first time. I believe this is his fifth time getting fined. I believe, from what I heard. Now the guy's a punk. He's unprofessional, and that's not a good dude. And there's no need for that.
Yeah.
And my thoughts, pretty much on that is, he should. And I was kind of joking around, but yet kind of serious. I'm like, you should fine him. I said earlier, you should fine him $1 billion and suspend him for 3 games. But you can't fine a guy $1 billion. But give him a good hefty fine, because a lot of these guys, they make so much money. $15,000 ain't shit if you if you fine them that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, so what? So the guys, like I said, I'm glad we don't have anybody like that on our team, which is going to lead me to something else. I don't know if it's on topic with you guys, but CJ Gardner Smith, or Gardner, whatever the hell his name is, he got released from the Ravens practice squad.
So I assume that has to be a locker room issue. On field and we saw it when the first time we went to the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. GJ was a dog. He had the most amount of interceptions, and he was hurt the last 6 to 8 weeks of the season. And we get him back, and he didn't necessarily perform super well, but he wasn't bad. He was definitely somebody safe back there. So I assume this has to be a locker room issue, especially
Well,
since how cocky C.J. Gardner-Johnson is. I mean,
yeah, he's a problem. I mean, you're on the practice squad. What makes you get released being on the practice squad?
yeah.
And Baltimore really, that's the last thing they need to consider in their situation.
Oh yeah.
A dude like that. So people are like, well, the Eagles bring back. Well, one, from what I understand, and I believe Philly sports guy said this. He has him. The Eagles, what they traded him, right?
Yeah.
So if he's released from the team that traded him, he can't go back to the team that traded him. I think you have to play so many months. So he wouldn't be eligible to come back here anyway. And number two, there's a reason why Howie said adios besides money.
Yeah.
You know,
honestly, not to cut you off here, I'm not. I don't think we really need him, to be honest. I mean, Blankenship is pretty safe, and of course we got Makuba and Sidney Brown fighting for that spot too. I like what I've seen from Makuba so far, and Blankenship. You know, you can't take him off the field. He's just been pretty consistent. I don't think we even need C.J. Gardner-Johnson if we had the chance.
Nah, we don't need him. Our problem is corner and getting the defensive line getting sacks.
Yeah.
That's the problem on defense. I mean, it's obvious. And Brandon Graham retiring, you lost a lot of vets on there that contributed in a big way. TV on. Losing my train of thought, guys. Can you guys hear it? You hear that background noise?
It's not too loud at all.
It's not that bad.
You got
Okay.
the microphone.
So and then the offense, the line's not getting the push. Jalen's not getting the reads right. He's holding on to the ball too long. As Irving Fryer said earlier, there was a play where to Johan Dotson that it's a timing throw where the ball should have already been in the air because he was running to a spot to catch it. Well, Jalen didn't release it on time. It took too long. So there's issues like that going on. He had a bad game. Doesn't mean he's a bad quarterback. Not going to rip him, dude. We've seen what he can do. There's some things going on, and they're not in sync. They're just not in sync. Now you can blame Fatulo, and he takes some blame by his play calling. But who hired him? Who made that mistake? Because obviously it was a mistake. He hired a guy that's never on a defending Super Bowl team.
Brian
The
Johnson.
guy, Howie Roseman hired Fatulo.
Yeah.
So, why are you going to hire a guy that has no experience and you're a Super Bowl freaking defending champs, winning on schedule to win another one?
Yeah.
So, look, I still have faith and confidence, but it needs to be cleaned up quick because next thing you know, we don't want to go on a 3 or 4 game skid.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just look real sloppy. That's the thing. It's like if we just tighten up, we are not far from being in the Super Bowl again. We just sloppy, stupid flags constantly.
Oh yeah.
Tighten up. That's it. I don't know
where
the chemistry is, but it needs to click soon.
Yeah, the reffing was horrible. That game against was it Denver where they picked up the flags and that was a straight up unnecessary roughness. Just the refs didn't help, and I'm not blaming refs, but if that's Patrick Mahomes and they're throwing, did they pick that flag up?
No.
Think about it. Yeah, it seems like Jalen doesn't get the respect to this day. I don't know what the man has to do. Go cure cancer or what? Yeah, I don't know.
I think it has something to do with the fact that, and this kind of leads us to the second topic, is like what can the Eagles do to rebound? But answering that, I think it has something to do with, like, if you ever watch, it's the quarterbacks that are always like Jalen doesn't do that. Jalen just gets hit and gets right up. Like,
right.
Hit, and then he's pointing like, ref flag. Like, no, dude. If it was a clean hit, you got hit, bro. Get up and take the lumps and move on. Yeah. But Jalen's not that kind of player. Like, we've seen him get hit a few good times this year, to where he just kind of gets up. He might look around, but he's not going to point and complain and whine that he's not getting a call. And
Right. He's very stoic.
yeah,
Yeah, and I saw a clip of him against Dallas, and he's getting up and walking off the field, and he has Trayvon Diggs right here in his face, screaming, trash talking, and he don't even look at him. He just walks
Right.
off to the
Yeah.
sideline, and
He's
that
stoic.
that looked awesome. But I mean, everybody's so quick to hate on him just because he isn't. What I think it is he's not flashy. You know, he's not making those huge runs like Lamar Jackson. He's not gonna do some crazy. He's a safe, conservative guy who's an improviser of a quarterback. That's just his style. Nobody really talks about how good he is at his deep passes. He has very good deep passes, but it's just because he's not flashy. He's not, getting all the highlights
Right.
that people want him to get. So, and because of that, he gets a lot of hate because what's he doing at this offense? He's not going to do anything. Well, do you know what he's doing with this offense? He's leading them as a leader, and he's doing it safely. And I think that's something that a lot of people look over.
Well, they need to like they need to clean. He needs to clean it up himself. Yeah, he's a stoic guy. He's not. He doesn't run his mouth.
Yeah, and
Okay, he's not Lamar Jackson who likes to run his mouth. He's stoic. He's a professional.
in the ball. Yeah.
Well, I got a couple notes here, Moose. I kind of want your opinion here. So my first thing I wrote down was our offensive line has been absolutely like non-existent this year. I know we've had a couple injuries. We're missing Mekhi Becton leaving in free agency is a big hurt to this offensive line. But the last when we saw them win last year, it was they were running effectively. And now the last two games, Jalen Hurts has had over 275 passing yards, over 30 attempts, but they've mustered 17 points in 2 games. So what do you think they have to do to get the run game back on track?
Well, I say they start off running and keep running. You're at the beginning of the game. It's nothing. It's not like you're behind. The game just started. Run till it works. Feed Saquon that ball. Eventually, he's going to break it. Unless there's something wrong with him, which, as far as I know, there's not. And another thing, too, is run up the middle. Keep running up the middle. Quit doing this side-to-side crap. You got powerful backs. Run, and you got big guys up front. Run it up the middle, man. Wear that defense down. That run will set up your pass. We don't really want Jalen throwing too much because that leads to mistakes.
Yeah.
So
you need to have a good balance. But I mean, to get our run game back effective, Joey might have a little more of these stats. We have only really ran the ball in 2 formations.
Oh yeah.
3-1 and the pistol formation. That's the only every time. Last week I think the statistic was 81% of our pistol formation ended up being a run play. And I'm not going to sit here and be like Kevin Patullo, but seriously,
Well, that is on him.
We gotta figure something out here.
Yeah, that is on him because he's calling, and they're vanilla plays. Okay, yeah. He's had a couple. He's had a couple good play calls.
Yeah.
But he doesn't stick with it. See, he's very vanilla. He's not experienced. This is the problem right here, and that's on Howie Roseman for hiring guys. Okay, you tell me there was nobody else out there they could have brought in.
Yeah.
I mean,
we just gotta mix it up. That's all we can do for like running the football because Saquon Barkley is still Saquon Barkley. I mean, it's just the issue is when he gets there before they even hike the ball, the defense is setting up to shut down Saquon.
Oh, they're getting the push. They're pushing our guys back. We're not. They're getting, like I said, and this is the problem we're going to have with Minnesota. Minnesota, the Eagles they're a good rushing team.
Yeah,
a pass rushing team. Mm-hmm. So the Eagles are going to be coming at you.
Yeah.
So they need Hurts needs to let that ball go. They need to have a game plan to counter that rush, that pass rush.
Yeah.
And some of the scores that were being predicted were pretty low scores. Got the Eagles winning, but it's very low. I'm like talking 23-17. Now I don't. The Eagles haven't produced a lot of points this year. What's the highest they scored?
The highest was 31 or 32 against the Rams, but that
Okay.
really
That was
it was like 25 or 26 because of the blocked field goal that was scored.
Well, yeah, there were special teams points. Yeah. So the offense, have they actually scored? That's what you got to look.
4 against Dallas in week 1.
Well, yeah, well, that's here.
I think honestly that might be it. I mean, score against Tampa, 27.
Yeah, I mean they're not really putting up massive points. So I can go with a 23-17. Well, here's the thing.
Didn't count.
It's Minnesota's offense. Like who's starting now? Who's starting? Like I said, I heard Wentz wasn't. So
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So, and it's been a weird week in the league. I mean, you had with the Eagles losing, like you said, you had the Bills losing. Cowboys, I'm not surprised. They stink. And the Redskins losing, whatever you want to call them. And I don't think they're as good as they were last year.
Yeah.
They've
fumbling issue.
Now, how about Kansas City beating Detroit? Now, is Kansas City back? Are they back on track? They're getting people back. So are they going to end up being the team again in the AFC? That's the question.
And then lastly on the Eagles, this one's been going on for a few weeks now. AJ Brown. This is at least my message to AJ Brown is get over yourself. You just need to. There's no literally like you've been hearing it since you were 5 years old. There's no I in team. You need to play for your team and not the individual. And I know that Nick Sirianni preaches that week in and week out.
And you have Jalen Hurts who preaches that. Saquon Barkley who preaches that. We need a wide receiver who can preach that. You know, I don't see Devonta Smith letting up on passes and saying, "Oh, Jalen Hurts overthrew me." Anyways, that's ridiculous. You would have caught that pass, not a touchdown, but still. We don't.
The great thing about listening to Urban Fryer tonight, he played wide receiver. He went and said, "Look, I'm going to put myself in AJ Brown's shoes just to try to see if I can relate." And he said, "Yeah, you know what? If I was him, I'd be pissed too at myself and the team, both. Because he's not doing what he needs to do, and then the team for not calling the right plays. So it's really everyone's to blame. But yeah, he's speaking out. That's his personality. He needs to do what he needs to do. Go out, maybe do some practice reps. You can't do it with the coaches around. You can go out on your own and do it.
I think he needs to go do sit-ups in his driveway.
Yeah. Oh God, let's not relive that. Jeez, talk about a joke. But yeah, he and let's hope he's not a TO which play back, causes that kind of disruption.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're Super Bowl champions, man, and they know how to win. And we're hopeful they'll figure it out. And you got to take advantage of the rest of this division doing what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
So what are you going to do? They better win on Sunday. That's all I know.
Yeah, they definitely have to win on Sunday because 3 straight losses. That not only does it it doesn't look good on the record sheet, but that just continues to hurt morale. And if you look back at 2023, you had the. If you look back at 2023, you had the first loss. It was San Francisco. It was a big loss just because championship rematch.
What was the name of the British team?
And then you had you went to Dallas. You got completely under. And then I forget what the loss after that was, but I know it was another pitiful loss. And it was like it's just.
I believe they beat the Giants in between there or something. if I'm not mistaken.
You know what it might have been? It might have been they lost to San Francisco. They lost to the Cowboys, and then they had that. Do you remember that game in Seattle, that like Monday night game where?
Oh yeah.
And it was James Bradbury got caught in the caught left in the dust by Jay.
Right.
And that you could just tell that demoralized the team so much. And
Yeah.
a place like Minnesota where I'm not saying they haven't had trouble against the Vikings, but in Minnesota, that's a different story. They're just historically not good at Minnesota. So,
Yeah, except for winning the Super Bowl. Other than that,
Yeah, other than
first
that.
time playing in that stadium, they won the Super Bowl, but ever since, it's not been good.
Well, historically, yeah, they haven't played good. Whether it was the old Metrodome or whatever the hell the name of the stadium is now, they just don't. Yeah, historically, I don't like them when they play up in Minnesota.
Yeah, no.
You know, I like it when Minnesota comes here, except if you're playing them on a Tuesday night because you had a snow cancellation. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh yeah, the old.
But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be. Look, it's I'm looking at every game's a tough game. I mean, we played the Bears down the road. Now look at the Bears all of a sudden. They're 2-0 against the NFC East. They're a little bit better, I believe, than everybody thought they were going to be. I mean, they did play the Cowboys, so I can't count that because it sucked.
Yeah.
But you just got to look at it. That's not going to be an easy game. It is at home. Yeah, I don't look at any game as easy. Not in this year's NFL. I don't think there's any easy game.
Yeah, after the bye week, schedule definitely gets tough because I know we have Dallas after the bye week. We got coming out of the bye week, we go to Lambeau, and then very next week we either have the Cowboys or the Lions, and then the other week it's like a flip-flop Lions or Cowboys. But it's a brutal stretch.
And we don't have back-to-back home games either.
No, yeah, so that's gonna hurt us. But we're gonna move on now, and we're actually gonna talk about that Lions and the Buccaneers. So obviously the Eagles right now not looking like the top team in the NFC, but there's two that play this week that if the Eagles aren't there, I could very well see the Lions and the Buccaneers battling it out at the end of the season. Winner goes to the Super Bowl and represents the NFC. Who do you think comes out on top this weekend, Moose?
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. But Tampa right now, record-wise, they're the best team. They're 5-1. Now, who's the one loss against? Hey, but Baker Mayfield, that team fits him. He's playing, his best football. So I will put Tampa up there is potentially being in an NFC Championship game. Detroit, they got smoked by Kansas City, and they showed that they're human and they're prone to mistakes. We get them at home. So ask me that question after the Eagles play Detroit. If we have beaten both teams, then let's reconfigure that whole idea.
Okay. I think this very well could be an NFC championship. I very much hope that it's not, but I think if the Birds aren't in factor, then this is. I mean, that if it wasn't for the Birds, this is what it would be looking like right now.
Well, you got the Rams too. No, let's not forget about them.
The Rams, that's an underdog, but I think Baker is leading the Bucs really well. And you have to consider the fact that they're 5-1 without Mike Evans. Mike Evans is projected to come back this week. That's kind of still on the maybe side of things, but he's projected to come back this week. So I think with that addition, they definitely have a little more of a head up on the Lions. And if they're 5-1 without Mike Evans, who over the past 10 years or however long has been one of the most consistent wide receivers in the NFL, having him back is going to be a big plus. I think the Buccaneers on top. I think the game comes down to who will make the least amount of mistakes. Because these are two teams that, if they're running at 100%, they could very well mow over almost any team they go up against. So I mean, both teams have fantastic talent and good chemistry when they're performing well. So I think it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes.
Well, who has the better coach? Excuse me. Who has the better coaching? What do you think?
That's a good question.
So
I can tell you. I think.
I gotta say, I think really, I think Todd Bowles, and I think it's more
Yeah.
so. I think so, just more so his experience in the NFL is been a coach longer. I know Dan Campbell played linebacker, but he hasn't been a coach long, so he might not be as with the every in and out of being a coach and every decision and everything like that. In the heat of the moment, he might slip up, make the wrong decision. Whereas Todd Bowles was like, actually, I've already been in this predicament before, and I know that this doesn't work, so I should do this instead. And I kind of thought about that. I want to see how. So when we played the Buccaneers, I know take out the block punt, we were still up 17-3 at half, I believe.
Yeah.
And I want to think the Lions have a very, very good offense. And this can get very interesting very quickly because I want to see how the Buccaneers defense comes out and handles them in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Because the Eagles, when we played them, when we beat them, we were just able to move up and down the field all first half.
Yeah.
And
Right.
for the Buccaneers, like they cannot have that happen against. I'll be honest with you. Right now, as it stands, even without Brian Branch, the way the Lions' defense is playing is better than the Eagles' defense was playing. So
Yeah.
the Lions are not going to let the Buccaneers hang around. I know Baker Mayfield has done all kinds of acrobatic magic this year so far, but the Lions, if they can get an early jump on the Buccaneers, it might be a little bit out of the Buccaneers' hands. But if the Buccaneers defense can really come and play a solid game, they'll have a really good shot at winning this.
Yeah.
Now, where would that game be at? Because that would also make a difference too.
So it's in Detroit.
Okay. So that gives Detroit a little bit of an edge.
No, we will not be in Minnesota, unfortunately.
What's that?
Somebody in the comments asked if we were coming to Minnesota. We got a couple Vikings fans in the chat,
Oh yeah. What? Anything interesting?
Not really.
They're just asking like if we were gonna come to Minnesota for the game. I wish it looks like a nice stadium out there, but maybe one day, just not this year.
No.
Yeah, I'm not killing it.
I think if both teams are playing 100%, then Lions just barely take the edge. But yeah, I think Buccaneers definitely have a better coaching staff and coach period.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I asked that question. I already knew my answer. Yeah, because I remember Todd Bowles is a Temple guy, Coach Temple, and he was with the. I believe. Remember, he's with the Eagles too.
Yeah.
So, he knows the Eagles, and that's why I've always believed he has their number. Now, we did beat them a couple weeks ago, but we didn't play a complete game either. We almost blew that game.
Yeah. Cool.
Actually, the first 4 games we almost blew.
Yeah.
So the fact that we lost 2 in a row, it's like it's catching up with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
before a loss, we look sloppy. We'll have sloppy win, and I really hope these losses wake us up and get us to tighten up a little bit.
Now, remember there's an old saying too, you are what your record says. All right, so that's telling me Tampa is the number 1 team. It's telling me the Eagles are in the middle of the pack, second tier.
Yeah.
Upper, yeah. So it tells me the Eagles can get to the championship game and, but maybe not make it past that. They won't have a bye, and that's tough because you know how it is now. There's only 1 bye.
Yeah.
And, that means if you're not getting the bye, you need at least be that second seed. So at least in the second round, you have a home game.
Definitely. Because we saw how important that was last year.
Oh yeah, that's like a ticket. You get number 1 seed in home field. That's your ticket to the Super Bowl. You might as well just book your flight.
I don't.
I'm trying to read the comments.
He asked if
CJ
back to Philly. I don't think so.
Absolutely not. I can tell you right now that absolutely not.
But while we're still thinking about the Buccaneers, I want to move on to our next topic. Way too early MVP candidates. obviously, like I just said, the Buccaneers. So I think honestly, he could have won it last year. Baker Mayfield this year. I kind of jotted down. So far, he's got over 1,500 passing yards. He's got 12 touchdowns, 1 interception, which is the least in the NFL so far, and a 66.2 completion percentage rating. I don't know how much of that like really affects anything, but
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, he's played really well. And I think in the biggest moments when his teams needed him, like last week on the 3rd and 15, I believe it was, and he scrambled all the way for the first down and more. Like that is the epitome of the most valuable player. And if I had to pick one person so far, it is Baker Mayfield. What do you
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. I actually heard people having Dak Prescott in the conversation. Are you kidding me?
Dak
We all know him. Yeah, I've heard enough people that have said and put him in the MVP conversation. I'm just thinking to myself, Dak is Dak.
3.
He's doing what he does. He blows up his numbers in the regular season and then doesn't do crap in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If he makes the playoffs. So for anybody that's mentioning Dak, you just dream on. Okay, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dak is just, I would not. What do you got? What do you got, Mike?
I'm trying to think of somebody other than Baker Mayfield. You guys both said it. That's an excellent answer. That's a big cliche. Like I don't want to be cliche and just agree with the both of you. But as it stands right now, yes, Baker Mayfield is the most likely to win most valuable player. He looks unbelievable. I'm just trying to think
Yeah,
of players, maybe late season. A part of me wanted to say Bijan maybe, but when Saquon rushes for 2,000 yards and doesn't get MVP,
well,
Bijan is a break record.
on that one, the league. It seems like they never ever. It's always a quarterback.
It's always a quarterback.
Technically,
Exactly.
yeah. Technically, Saquon should have been. He was the most MVP player in the league last year.
He was the most valuable player in his hands.
Exactly, but they never go for anybody but a quarterback.
Since
So,
Peter.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that was the last one, probably.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's why all that MVP stuff, I really, at the end of the day, I mean, look at, not to switch gears, but look at basketball. Joel Embiid, MVP, but what did the Sixers do? Second round, first round, That, at the end of the day, I want to see a trophy. I want to see a Lombardi trophy or an NBA trophy or world, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about individual awards. I'm not worried about rankings. Yeah, I'm just not into all that. I'm in the, produce on the field, get the win, and get me a championship.
Yeah.
That's it. Bottom line. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A couple names to throw out. I wrote down a few. Rank these 3 and most likely to win MVP. Okay, so we'll put Baker aside. So I'm going to give you Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, and Drake May. They all have over 1,500 passing yards, all have double-digit touchdowns already, and 2 or fewer interceptions, or 3 or fewer, my fault. What do you think the likelihood of Stafford, Darnold, or Drake May winning the MVP this year?
Well, that's a good question. Let's see how other teams do. I mean, usually an MVP goes towards a team that's – you're not going to give it to a team that sucks and it's not going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So right now the Rams are a playoff contender. Sam Darnold, I don't think he's that good. I don't feel him. He's not one on my favorite quarterback list. And the other guy, if anything, I would have to say Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, and Stafford is leading, or at least last week, he's leading the almost all the passing categories, and nobody seems to be talking about it. So
no, it's very quiet, very quiet.
Exactly. So I mean, could it come down to Stafford easily deserves MVP and it gets snagged from him because he, wasn't that flashy? I'm not so sure, but I mean, out of those 3, I think Stafford's number 1. Drake May Number 2 is Sam Darnold. Number 3. I mean, and that's just where I stand right now. I think.
Yeah, Sam Darnold is just.
Me personally, I've talked about Sam Darnold before on this podcast. He's always been with really rough teams, and anytime he has weapons with him, like Justin Jefferson, he shines, and people are like, "Yo, I didn't see that coming." And it's like, I think it's just been him going into terrible organizations. They think that Sam Darnold's going to be the savior, but he has nobody to help him out. So when
Well,
Sam
it's kind of.
has proper people around him, he does perform. At least good. I wouldn't say elite level. I wouldn't say MVP level. But he's definitely. I would say he's a good quarterback. He's a bit above moderate. But he just never really.
He's not. He's not bad, but he's not great.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Game manager. Would you say game manager?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
Maybe a step above it, a tad.
That is fair.
Yeah. But that's how I feel about that list.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, look at Baker Mayfield. He sucked with the not the Rams. He sucked with the
the Browns.
Cleveland Browns because the Browns are a bad. Yeah, Browns are a bad organization. They are not in quarterback factory whatsoever. But they'll draft about 20 of them in 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tampa's a perfect fit for him, and that's why he's being successful.
Yeah.
Stick him somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah.
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 I always get like the old Nick Foles thing. Nick Foles couldn't play for anybody else, but he was the perfect backup for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Of course he would. If Foles started that season in 2017, he wouldn't have made it through the whole season, and we probably wouldn't have went to the Super Bowl. Carson, in all fairness, set that up, set the table, and then Foles finished it. Cleaned it up. But
I mean, his 7 passing touchdown game, and I think 2014, tying the record for most touchdowns in an NFL game. I mean, Nick Foles has always been somebody who could, not always, but he's been somebody who can consistently perform for the Birds as a backup
with the Eagles.
Right.
Yeah.
If he wasn't with the Eagles, it was atrocious.
Yeah, Joey was waiting to jump in and cut me off there, but I did specify the Birds.
Yeah, I mean, love Nicky Six, man. I mean, he's an icon forever because he won our first Super Bowl. Hell, you got the statue out front of the link. Him and Dougie. And speaking of Dougie, he's available. What about offensive coordinator? Huh? I saw some rumblings about him coming in maybe to be an advisor.
Yeah,
It might help.
but nobody's
That's it.
Tanner McKee either, and he's a solid backup. I love having Tanner McKee as a backup. I understand that, but I don't want to go too far off track. Ever since we went to the Super Bowl, we have held our backups very highly. You know what I mean? Like the fans going crazy over Gardner Minshew and stuff, and Minshew, he deserves to be a backup. But Tanner McKee is in my opinion, one of the best looking backups we've had.
He looked good in training camp.
And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about Tanner McKee. There's Tanner McKee. He's somebody who I think could very well be a starter for somebody like the Steelers. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they'll offer a good trade and how we can look at it. Maybe get some defensive help. So that's what we need right now.
I'd like to see Tanner McKee do well somewhere. Of course, not anywhere like Dallas or in the division.
Oh no, of course not.
But if he ran over to the AFC, no matter almost any team he joins over there, I'd be rooting for Tanner McKee just a bit in my heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
All right. Now,
I think Mike has a question for us.
Now, okay, question of the week. It's funny because you brought up Sam Darnold. This question is revolved around Sam Darnold because Sam Darnold isn't necessarily, we already spoke about it already. He's not an elite quarterback, but he's definitely not a bad one. He's somebody who can carry a solid team. So my question here, let me pull it up.
Drum roll, please.
It is what teams would be Super Bowl contenders with Sam Darnold at the helm instead of their current quarterback? So I mean, looking at organizations with rough QBs but that they have good weapons.
Oh, let's see. Nobody in the NFC East, so check that out.
Yeah,
Check that off the box.
yeah.
Oh man, and the Dolphins are a train wreck. I don't know.
Dolphins. I
Yeah.
didn't. That could be a good one.
The Dolphins isn't a bad one. They desperately need a good quarterback, like somebody that's actually going to lead their team.
Yeah, Tua can throw the ball sometimes, but yeah, he can't lead. I didn't even I wasn't even thinking about the Dolphins. Jalen Waddle ain't bad. A-Chain is a pretty solid running back, and their defense isn't horrible. So they would be contenders of some sort, I think.
Arizona? Yeah. Man, I don't know.
No. If you're not doing
Arizona. Yeah. Maybe Miami. Maybe Miami.
maybe Miami. Well, I have 14.
I think. Hold on.
What do you have?
So this Seattle right now, and you said.
How about Cleveland?
No. I think
They'd blow it up.
Terrible. I don't know about Super Bowl contenders. They definitely would win more.
if he was on the Bengals right now, the Bengals would not be in the bad predicament they are.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
Yeah,
That's a really good one.
if he was with the Bengals right now, they wouldn't be in the predicament they're in, and they need a solid backup. Like the Bengals, because like I love Joe Burrow, he's a good quarterback, but every year he's got no offensive line, so he's destined to get like injured for at least.
Oh, that's on their general manager.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that's sad because you just know at least two, even maybe just one, real nice guy to help pick everybody up too on the offensive line.
Definitely.
But they're one offensive line away, and not even offensive line, but a few offensive linemen from really being their full potential. I mean, Jamar Chase is one of the best wide receivers in the league. Joe Burrow is arguably, well, Joe Burrow is definitely top 5, arguably top 3. But we haven't been able to see him perform all the way because he got no time to do nothing. Even
PSG. Hey, look at him.
Hey, all right.
Gonna go Birds.
What's up? What's going on?
I'm going back in. I'm playing trivia.
He's winning the trivia.
It's my day off today, and I'm taking it.
Are you
Sorry not to spend any time.
Go Birds.
Quick Moose.
Hey, are you winning?
Right now,
Okay.
There it is. It's all that matters.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
Trivia. He does it all.
Oh man.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Playing little trivia going on in there. I'm missing out on it.
The team I think that could be contenders with I'm not saying they're going to win Super Bowl, but be contenders. With Sam Darnold, I'm kind of thinking the Steelers right now. I mean,
Really, with Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers, he is somehow doing okay.
He's old.
But yeah, I think Sam Darnold would do better with the Steelers offense. Steelers is a team that has a lot of talent that gets undermined. Of course, they're not a fantastic team, but I think Sam Darnold would really look good in that organization, especially the play style that they have there. Like if you throw Sam Darnold in, and you mentioned the Cardinals, he's not going to be able to fit Kyler Murray's offense. But I think the kind of offense the Steelers have is something that would blend really well with what Sam Darnold has to offer. So that's one reason why I say the Steelers. I think they.
Well, you know what? I don't disagree with that actually, because, like I said, Aaron Rodgers, he's getting up there. He probably should have retired when he was with the Jets.
Before that.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's just got to collect money. Can't blame the guy. I'm not going to blame him, but he's not Pittsburgh's future. Let's put it that way.
No, he's definitely not. He's been doing all right this year, but this year might probably be his last year.
Well, it's a short-term fix,
They're definitely going to need a new quarterback after this one.
Yeah. or at least somebody ready to be a new quarterback. It would be nice, if Aaron Rodgers gets up there and kind of does a little mediocre for the Steelers next year while they have a young QB who's excited and ready to start. I mean, and then you have an on-field coach for him, per se. You got somebody who has experience, who's been around the league to teach this in the locker room. This is what we're looking for, and this is what I do. So I think it could be healthy for the Steelers to utilize having an old man there, and a young kid in there behind him. But he's definitely not a future. He's definitely not a franchise QB as he once was before the Green Bay. He's just too old.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, they're gonna have to address their quarterback issue sooner than later. So
I'm surprised they didn't do it during the draft. Very surprised.
Surprised they let Justin Fields walk to add Aaron Rodgers, and then took
well, I think they were going with we need a win now type thing. Let's take the old grizzled veteran who has been there, and I wouldn't do that personally. I would take a loss, take a hit, build a team.
Yeah.
We've seen the Eagles do that back in the day. When what was his name? Oh, geez. There's the quarterback. Well, we had Doug Peterson was the quarterback that before McNabb came in. McNabb was. What's that?
The Detmer brothers? Is that who you're thinking of?
No. I'm talking Sam Bradford.
Yeah,
he was the quarterback. He was the quarterback, and then Wentz took over.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In Badford.
Yeah, oh God. Was that under Chip Kelly? I believe that was under Chip Kelly.
Yeah. Chip Kelly traded away Nick Foles for Sam Bradford.
Yeah. Look, the only good thing that Chip Kelly did was Jeff Stoutland. That was it. Otherwise, that I don't even. He was horrible.
Yeah, Chip Smelly. Yeah, that's what we called him growing up. All right.
Yeah,
Joey's been announced him. I'm going to announce the next segment for him. This is Joey's bold. I'm excited to hear this one. Last week was it? It was Baker Mayfield could be an MVP contender, and then and now
Baker did his thing.
Now he did. Now we're looking at it like we're talking about how all of us think, hey, I think he is going to be an MVP. So, or at least in the running for it. So Joey's bold takes, they're bold, but right now
that's why they're bold.
Usually I stay away from the Eagles, but something's telling me this week to go for it.
Go for it. Do it.
I think the biggest city back into it to get the team back into it. I think my bold prediction for this week is the Eagles are going to unleash the defensive line is going to go absolutely crazy this week. At least 4 sacks on whatever quarterback is starting. And the Eagles are going to win by I think the Eagles are set up perfectly just to come into Minnesota. Expectations down. Everybody's probably Minnesota could surprise us. But I really think that the Eagles defensive line, I'm looking for a big game like Jordan Davis. Dude, we haven't seen much of Jordan Davis.
You know what? We haven't seen much of him since he ran that
since he ran it back.
Field goal. Yeah.
The season running back a meaningless touchdown. It is.
Yeah.
I think he'll get one at least. And I think if Jalen Carter plays, he's going to get 1 or 2. And I want to see Ojomo. I want to see some of these defensive ends. I know we didn't even touch on it, but Zadarius Smith retiring. He was our leading sack.
Well, I got an interesting take on that too. I don't want to hold up time on here, but
you're good. Well, get it back. That's my bold take. So really, time is yours, Moose. Give us your take here on the Darius Smith situation before.
Well, this is going off with Irving Fryer thinks what it could be. Apparently, the explanation was personal reasons. So him and Hollis were discussing it, And there might be a failed drug test issue. So instead of him being suspended, he decided to retire. Maybe, possibly. That's what they think. You know, allegedly, maybe. Can't
Allegedly.
prove it. But
Yeah.
who just retired? I mean, who just does that? You know.
Yeah. No offense.
So yeah, that could, there's something that there's always something fishy when stuff like that happens.
Yeah. That or my thought was like maybe the locker room situation in Philly is not that bad, but to come in like a couple games in and then leave a couple games later, like it just made no sense to me at least.
Yeah.
So that explanation that they said, that makes a little bit more sense. To me, that's a lot more believable than. At least sounds a lot better for me than as an Eagles fan going, "Oh, is the locker room really that bad?"
Well, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're having a locker room issue. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen AJ Brown look so punk-like out there. AJ Brown, at least, he's always come across to me as having a good head on his shoulders. It almost looks like Jalen Hurts is holding throws to AJ Brown, and it just seems like our players aren't getting along the way that they once did. And I would not be remotely surprised if there's a locker room issue going on. I honestly think there is one.
Now, is this team fooled themselves from coming off a Super Bowl win?
Yeah, it could be that too. But
little hangover going on.
Yeah, but back to your bold take. Do you think that the Birds might have like a secondary sack, like something from in the secondary, or like a line? I could see a linebacker blitz coming in because
how about
Vikings? I was excited to see the J.J. McCarthy performance. The whole first half, it was hiking the ball and people. Vikings all. We spoke about that, I think, in one of our first episodes ever. They don't look good, and if we add any additional pressure from the secondary or from our linebacker core, I'll see a Nolan Smith, Zach Vaughn sack, or even a sack from the rookie.
John Campbell.
Yeah.
How about Cooper DeJean? Dog. Shot.
Yeah.
He's gonna have his hands full with Jordan Addison on Sunday. So
yeah.
Well, see,
he's always been a good tackler. He really talked about his tackles as much as they should.
Well, the Eagles need to up their sack game because their sack. Actually, the dude that just retired, I think he had the most sacks on the team.
Yeah, he was like
at the edge position.
35.
He had the most sacks.
Yeah, so you're leaving sacks out on the table there. You know what I mean by him leaving.
Yeah.
So they need to get pressure from these ends. They're doing a bad job of it.
Yeah.
So they got to get pressure on these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But yes, the secondary thing, it could be Cooper. Zach Vaughn, I'll be honest with you, watching these games, has he disappeared a tad bit lately? Because
I feel like the whole defense has disappeared a tad. Like, I don't think it's necessarily – I'm not going to single out Zach Vaughn.
No. I'm not going to do that either. It's weird. I haven't heard his name called a lot.
Yeah, nobody's really performing the way they should. And, I think Cooper's been looking good. Quinn Yon he's been off a little bit, but he's still looking pretty good.
I think he has a little injury thing going on, doesn't he?
Yeah, he had the hamstring thing along with like Jalen Carter in the heel. I'm hoping I'm hoping that it was he kind of tweaked it. It was MetLife Stadium, their crappy turf. They were like, you know what? It's not even worth putting you back out there, risking something way worse.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they probably did that because that feels worse filled with.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets back this week because we really need him, especially going against Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Because if I got to watch for 3 hours of if I got to watch Dory Jackson and Keely Ringo try to cover this, man,
I can't.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
I shouldn't get me started, bro.
I think Sunday afternoon. Moose, where are you going to be Sunday afternoon?
I'm going to be down in my neck of the woods at Newark, Delaware, around University of Delaware, I believe off Elkton Road. Is it four fathers? Is that what it is? I'm trying to remember the name.
Brothers in Newark.
Founding fathers. Is that what it is?
Brother.
I can't hear you.
Founding brothers.
Founding brothers. Okay, I'm thinking founding fathers. I'm thinking George Washington. So anyway, Yeah. So anyway, we'll be there for a watch party with the 302 Birds team and post game live after that, I believe, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to jump in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if we got to watch Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson cover.
Well, hopefully we're not sitting there angry and pissed off. Hopefully we're sitting there going, "All right, there we go." You know.
Yeah, I can't.
The last
two
time we watched with you, Moose, we won. So maybe it's.
Yeah, that's right. You're 1-0 with me, man. So, yeah. So anybody that's listening, and hopefully there's a lot of people listening because this is the show to watch. If you're not watching it, you're missing out.
Yeah.
But be down in Newark, Delaware. Come hang, watch party, good time. If you're a real Birds fan, you'll be there because the Moose will be there. He'll be on the loose. So what you going to do when you're hanging with the Moose, watching the Birds smash the Minnesota Vikings, brother, and take back what's rightfully theirs, top team in the NFL. There's a reason why I wore this tonight as a reminder. This is what we are. Until somebody takes it from us, there's nothing nobody can do about it. This is who we are. That's who we need to be, and that's who we need to play like. So go Birds, baby! E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles for life, brother.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yeah.
something unbelievable might have just happened. We're about a minute in, or an hour and 6 minutes in, an hour and 5 minutes in, and I think the Moose brother count is at 2.
What's that now?
I think you've only said brother twice in an hour and 5 minutes.
I only said brother twice?
I think it might have only been twice.
Wow. What's wrong with me, brother?
You said brother, and you said the thing.
Oh, man.
And then he flipped it out twice. He really says brother the more hyped up he gets. But
I'll say it 20 more times on Sunday. How's that?
Perfect.
I'll say it so many times everybody's going to think they're really my brother.
All right.
Well, Moose, we
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It's been a very insightful evening. Like I said, up here live at Dolan's Bar. If you're ever up in Ridley Park and you want to hang where the Birds hang, come on up to Delco. PJ's a great guy. He's the mayor of the town. Little Carton Blues there. But come on up and go Birds. And
let everybody know where they can find you at.
Oh, you can find me on parts unknown. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me. Well, this Sunday you'll see me down. I'll be down in Newark, Delaware. Eagles home games. I'm usually at Hungry Dogs Tailgate, lot N8. That's where all the Super Eagle fans are. Great food, great fun, great Bird fandom. There's also next in 2 weeks, there's a tailgate called Big Carms Tailgate. They're doing a qualifying event, wing eating contest. That's sponsored by cheerleaders. Well, it's sponsored by cheerleaders. The event's at cheerleaders. It's 3 qualifying events you're going to be having, and this is the first one. Been asked to do it. I was in win told last year. Don't know if I won't be able to make it because I was looking to get out of town one more time before the season's over up at Knoebels, which is where I was at this past weekend. But we'll see how it goes. A lot going on. I can't think. There's so much going on. But anyway, that's a place you can find me definitely at home games. Hungry Dogs, Light N8. And you can find me floating around Delaware, state of Delaware, or Delco, or South Philly. Skinny Joey's cheesesteaks. You might see me there. Damn good cheesesteaks. Probably the best in town. And maybe you'll see me in your nightmares.
Or my dreams, Moose. Come on, don't think yourself so low.
Nightmares sounds more. I turn on that heel side, brother. You know what I mean? It's more fun being bad than good, you know?
Oh, yeah. Like Michael Jackson.
But, you know.
Where can
we find you guys? Where can we find you guys? Let me ask you that question.
So you can find us at Under the Wing Podcast on Instagram, as well as we're on the 302 Birds YouTube page, Under the Wing Podcast, in the live videos. But lastly, like I said, where can we find you on social media platforms
as well?
Okay, well, here we go. Everybody got pen and paper.
Yes, sir.
Get ready to write this down. All right, got 2 Facebooks. The Moose 317. I'll say this nice and slow in case any Cowboys fans want to write this down and get in touch with the winner.
Because they can't spell it.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, you can't spell. So if they can't spell, I don't know what to tell them. So Facebook, the Moose 317. Facebook again, Christopher the Moose Cunningham. Instagram, the Moose 317. And TikTok, the Moose 317. I have a Twitter page, but I forget what it is because I don't really mess with it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's it.
Yeah, good show, fellas.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
I mean, this is. I definitely enjoyed the show tonight. We're gonna have to have you back on, maybe even as a regular. I mean, this is honestly, and I'm speaking for Joey here, one of the most favorite people that we have met through 302 Birds.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's definitely a special podcast being able to have Mr. the Moose here. So
Yes, sir.
have a good night, and I guess it's time to play that intro.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir, Moose. Go Birds.
This is for you.